Welcome to day 28 of the Match World Cup video blog in association with Chewits. Now it's another rest day in South Africa today, and because of that, all the players are around the training ground. And I've told you before, when that happens, loads of news and loads of stories tend to break. So we've got loads of stuff to bring you on that level before the huge third place playoff tomorrow and the final, the biggest game in football, on Sunday. And then there are a couple of big hot topics that are broken today, which I'm going to run through at the end. So to start with, a news rundown. Great news for Uruguay before their third place match against Germany, because Diego Forlan is fit and he's ready to play. There were some big questions after he was subbed off in the semi-final, but about his thigh injury and about his level of recovery and his fitness. But he reckons he's ready to play and he's desperate to score a few goals to guarantee him that golden boot, and that's what he's really after. So that's a huge boost for them, and it makes them a lot more dangerous with him and Suarez starting up front. And the other side of that game, of course, it's Germany, and there's been a massive blow to their squad because a flu outbreak has taken place. Now that's crazy to say because of the hot weather that's around, and of course I know it's really boiling in England, but in Germany at night time, when a lot of these games are taking place, it's freezing cold, and because of that it's easier for the infections to get in. And Joachim Löw, Philipp Lahm and Lukas Podolski have all come down with flu, or at least a very heavy cold. They reckon it's not going to be bad enough to keep Lahm or Podolski out of the match, but any kind of blow to their fitness makes a difference. So they've got their fingers crossed that their medical teams can get them back fully fit and fighting for the massive game tomorrow. Other news from Germany, and another blow for them really, is that Miroslav Klose, as his back injury is still a little bit 50-50 as to whether he'll get over that. Just like Forlan, he's desperate to play, to be the top scorer at this tournament, but bigger for him is to become the all-time scorer in World Cup history. He needs 2 goals to pass Ronaldo, the Brazil striker's record, and to become the biggest scorer throughout all the tournaments he's played in at the World Cup. But he also, just 1 goal would of course level that record, and he's desperate to play, so I'm sure he'll find a way of overcoming that back injury and being fit for the big game. On the other side of things, for the biggest game of the lot, the third place playoff, it's going to be exciting, but the big game of course is the final, Spain against Holland. And Vicente Del Bosque, the Spain manager's come out and he's been talking about the desperation of winning this tournament and how much it means to the squad now they're determined to do that. So all the right noises are coming out from there. And the Holland camp, the talk from there, from the coaches and from the manager, has been that they're so proud of their players for getting to this stage and they're just going to go out and give it their all. So both teams, they have the right kind of attitude, ready to fight to win this tournament, and it should be an absolutely massive match. Okay, from 1 to 10, in no particular order, here are the 10 players who've been shortlisted. David Villa, he's obviously scored 5 goals and he's been flying and he's been firing Spain through the tournament, so he's a real good inclusion. Xavi has been a key man in the heart of their midfield, so the Spain midfielder, he's made the list of 10. Another Spanish player, Andres Iniesta, he missed the first game, but following that he's been a critical player for them. His little runs, his movement and his classy little flicks, they were the difference I think in the quarterfinals and semi-finals for them. Arjen Robben, again he missed the start of the tournament. He's had an injury issue coming into the tournament, but he's been fantastic ever since. Awesome on the ball, really nice runs, and definitely deserves his place on this list. One of the surprise players, Bastian Schweinsteiger, he's been absolutely incredible, controlling the midfield matches, and he's been opening up opponents, but also winning loads of tackles. And all of the stats list, he was sitting there in the top 2 or 3 for all of those kind of things that you have to do as a midfielder. Passing, runs, pass completion, all of these kind of like tackles made, blocks. I mean, he was there, up with the very best players in the tournament, so he really deserves his place. Mesut Ozil, who obviously has made his name at this tournament, I think he's a bit borderline. I don't think he's going to win this one, but he's certainly one for the future, and I think he probably deserves to make his way into the top 10 players. Diego Forlan's been fantastic, and he's made the list as well. Definitely one of the top 10 players of the tournament, linking up the midfield and the attack, scoring some good goals, fantastic goals from different distance with his free kicks, and he's been absolutely awesome. Asamoah Gyan, this is the one I'm not too sure about. I think he's a good player, and I think he's worked very hard for his team, but I don't think he's been up on the level of the rest of these players. So I think it's a real long shot for him to win this. Scored a few penalties, scored a goal on open play, but I think generally, I don't think he's been one of the stars. I think there were a few players, even in the Ghana team, that I would have been having ahead of him on this list. And I'll come to one of those names later. And then there's Leo Messi, the final one of the 10. Now everyone's talked at this tournament about how the massive names, the huge megastars, the Ronaldos, the Kakas, the Rooneys, the Riberies, and also the Messis haven't performed and stepped up. But that's wrong on Messi's part. Messi hasn't scored any goals, that's obviously undeniable, but I think he's been fantastic. His interplay, setting up Higuain and setting up all the attacking play for Argentina has been absolutely awesome, and he really deserves to be on this list. I look through it, I'm not sure who's going to win, obviously it's a bit of a guess, but if I had to say anything right now, I'd say that the results in the final of the tournament are going to be absolutely critical. There's one more player as well. Have a guess who I've missed off? It's Wesley Sneijder, and he's been fantastic, and he's definitely one of the front runners to win this. And I think he will be battling it out in the end with David Villa and possibly Schweinsteiger to win this award. If the two players have a bad final, Schweinsteiger will win. But depending upon how Sneijder and Villa play in that final, then it could be one of theirs to take away with them. And I think they'll really deserve it, one of those three. The question is, where's Thomas Müller? I looked at that list and I thought, how are 2 or 3 of these players on this list when Muller's not on there? I think he's been absolutely awesome. Probably one of the best 4 or 5 players at the tournament, and he's missed out. But he has been named in the young players of the tournament list. There's a short list of 3. There's Müller, the German midfielder, who's been supporting the attack from the right-hand side. He's been absolutely fantastic. He's also been a really good passer, mover, and very good on the ball. The other 2 players, one slightly surprising, and that's Giovanni Dos Santos. Now, Gio's been absolutely incredible, scoring some good goals. And, start again. Gio's been absolutely incredible. His movement on the right side for Mexico has meant they haven't missed out on Guardado not being fully fit. And he's really created a lot of space and really some good chances for the Mexicans. The final player to make the list for the Wonder Kids is Asamoah Gyan. Now, he's one of the players of the tournament for me. Awesome movement, great skills, and he was a key player, I think, in setting up a lot of the chances for Ghana. There was him, there was Prince Tago, there was Jonathan, and there was a couple of other players there who really impressed. So Ghana were fantastic, their young players really shone, and Asamoah Gyan, I think, is a good shout there for really challenging Thomas Müller to win that award for the best young player. Okay, that's the end of my final news, apart from one other thing, and this is really big, because there's big congratulations owed to Howard Webb. The English referee has been given the World Cup final. The first time an English ref has been given this since 1974. He's been fantastic through the tournament. He wasn't given a semi-final, so people were saying, is he going to get it? Is he going to let down by this? But in fact, he's got it, and he's going to do a great job, I'm certain. And that's somebody for us to watch as England supporters on the big day. Okay. That's the end of my World Cup video blog in association with Tuis for today. I'll be back tomorrow with some feedback from the 3rd place playoff and all of the news in front of the World Cup final.